Hey everybody, it's Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channel, pACT Network Broadcasting. I'd like to thank Nick. Such a great show. So proud to have him. So proud to do our mixing the paranormal channels and the paranormal stuff with Things Network. If you're interested in the paranormal, if you ever wondered some of the stuff that goes on there, I would most definitely invite you to check them out. Once again, that's hello, Irene. Wow, look at this from Tokyo. My son is in Fukunome, so right in your neck of the world. So thank you for joining us tonight, Irene. And thank you for tuning into Nick's show as well. I know that that's where you found us, was from that side. So I thank you very much. But Nick had a wonderful show talking about the history of buildings and things like that. His show's going to also have some of the background that you hear about some of the creatures of the paranormal world, such as, one that's near and dear to my heart, the New Jersey Devil. Being a New Jersey Devils fan, well, I love that myth, the story behind it. So, and there's a lot that you can learn from him. Nick, like I said, he's a great guy. Got to spend a couple days with him this summer as we took part in an investigation in Salina, Kansas, which was really cool. We were at the I'm losing my thought here. We were at the Templar or Mason, the Masonic Lodge is what it was. There in Salina, Kansas. Beautiful, beautiful building. Earlier today, I was asking the question, and matter of fact, I'd like to ask this question of you guys. What is the most, the building that when you walked into, it took your breath away? You were like, as soon as you went into the building, you thought of the beauty of the building, or something took you over inside, and was it even a building? I know that one of the things that I love being at the most is anything to do with the mountains. Being here in Colorado, I see plenty of mountains, but you walk into the mountains and you just know that you're not alone. You know that there's history there. And as we were talking to Nick, one of the things that we mentioned is, we want to hear the voices from these buildings. We want to hear the stories that these buildings are being told. So we're inviting you to tell us, what is the most, the building that you were in that really took away your breath, that you thought of when you were sitting there and inside that building, and it just really captured your heart, captured your mind, captured your soul. Emily gave us the cathedral, and Kurt was telling us about going and visiting the Blarney Stone and other things like that, and those are just wonderful. Years when I was a child, I had a picture of me overlooking the Berlin Wall, before it was tore down, and looking over into East Germany, East Berlin. So it's really kind of cool, and as we said, this is a perfect tie-in with what Nick does, because Nick likes to talk about the histories of buildings. Let's make sure that we let these buildings talk. Here's a great answer right here. Brian Gibson, when fog rushed, the first time he saw it, he felt God's love and grace. And that's exactly what Brian's trying to share with the fog rush. So, that's one of the things that we are talking about, trying to stop, Irene. We're trying to talk with the Things Network on how we can save some of these sites. One of the things we've also been talking about is maybe using the Community Pay It Forward fundraising program to possibly help save Waverly, as Nick was talking about. It's for those of you who don't know what Waverly is, Waverly was a building during the I'm of course losing my track of mind. But it was a sanitarium for people who had the lung issue. And why am I dropping my mind here? Um, they called it they called it the geez, it was a sanatorium that helped people who had a deadly disease, and they're tearing it down, and it's something that it should never be tore down. You know, it's got history, it's got beauty. And I'll be honest with you, when there's a nonprofit that gets involved with that, you know, that's we don't know. I don't know the story on why they want to tear it down, but that's not they used to be called consumption. I'm looking for the other name. Tuberculosis. Yeah, there was a lot of that. But yeah, I'm looking for. It was called consumption in the Western days. I know that Doc Holliday was a victim of this. It was quite prevalent in his family. But for a nonprofit to be taking and trying to take away the voices that are in that building, I just don't think it's right. I'd like to let you know that we're waiting on a couple guests to be joining us, and we're really hoping that they. But yeah, it was tuberculosis. You're right. So, but we are waiting for a few guests to be joining us. But one of the things that we're going to do is, once again today, and we've already played it once on Community Pact, but we're going to play it again because it's so important. We're going to be playing the interview that we had with Mr. Brian Gibson about Hope Fest, about his Hope Fest that's coming up July 29th, 30th, and 31st. And this is about putting our veterans where they need to be, which is in a good state of mind. It's taken and showing you fog rush. It's getting you to experience everything. Getting the idea of what's going on. You're going to be introduced to some great people, as we've mentioned before. You're going to be you're going to be meeting JR from the Veterans Ranch, and you're going to be meeting some of the other individuals that we're going to be working with. And of course, Brian, his family, and his hardworking volunteers are all going to be there. Hope Stock, thank you, not Hope, whatever I was calling it. Yeah, Hope Stock. Flight of Mind, as I've always said, I would say that it's caused by the brain injury. I just wasn't that smart prior to the accident, so you know I can't really use that as an excuse. We are waiting on a couple guests to be joining us, so right now we're just going to be talking about a couple other things. And I'd like to say that we're trying to fill time, but that's not exactly what we're going to be doing here. We all know that we've got a crisis going on in the other side of the world right now with. And I would like to ask for everybody just to please make sure that your mind is set on our heroes that are over there right at this time. Make sure that you're, firmly in support of these individuals who are not trained as an army but they're sitting there and they're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their rights. They're fighting for their families. Just remember and there's no other way for me to say this. There is an evil force over there he doesn't care if he's killing women and children and families, old people. It doesn't matter to him. Read an article today that there's even Russians that are turning the gun on each other if they won't perform the duty of destroying lives. It's uncalled for. We know that things are tough right now with the gas prices, with everything going on. But you know what? We cannot support what's being done. We cannot support that people are being slaughtered for no reason. And that's right. This is why fog rush is so important, because these kids are going to go over there. These kids have raised their hands and they've given up. They've given up their life to fight for what we believe in America, which is freedom. Fight for the right side. Okay, this isn't we're not trying to take over this country. It's not like we're going over there to do that. We're going over there. We're going over there to support people who are standing up for themselves. Klitschko. I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing, and he and his brother are millionaires. They could have easily walked away. They're sitting there. They're making sure that their country is protected from these invaders. So please make sure that you do what you can do, and you know, if you're a religious person, please pray. Just make sure that your mind and your thoughts are with all these people who are you know, your thoughts are with all these people who are over there and they're giving of their life. So yeah, and that's what's going on as well. So it's not showing on pACT. Okay. We're having an issue. I don't understand why it's not coming up.
Last one coming up was
Nick's.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not showing me on Facebook or pACT that you're on.
Okay, so it looks like we might be having a problem. I don't know what happened, but I think that what we're going to do is we're going to take this off real quick. And we're going to bring it back, hopefully real quick. And hopefully it's going to show. So hopefully we're back on. I apologize for anybody if you were on. I don't understand what was happening there, but we're just going to go on ahead and we're going to continue with this. If you cannot hear us, please go to our YouTube channel and join us there, or you can even go on to our Twitter handle, and you can do it. Okay, Brian, you're on pACT, so I don't know what's going on. It just didn't show up. I'm going to go on ahead and bring on Kurt Roscoff right now because he's been in contact with Brian, and they've been talking about a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing for Hope Stock and some of the other things going on. Mr. Roscoff, how are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, I see the live coming through the pACT homepage. So yeah, I don't know what's happening on your end, but yeah.
Well, we do have this wonderful snowstorm that's going on, and you know, we're in Colorado, so we're not used to snow.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, so maybe we are, but you know, we don't have it very. You know, and it's kind of weird, Kurt, because I know that you're in Wisconsin. So you're in a snow heavy state. And I moved here to Colorado in 91, 92, something like that. And I moved from Kansas, where, you know, Kansas, it didn't seem like we got a lot of snow, but when it snowed, it all piled up like in drifts that would cover, you know, mobile homes. And I actually had a mobile home that we got trapped inside of for a couple of days because it drifted over ours. But here in Colorado, you think that we would get snow every winter, and it was just a cold place, and we love it because of what it is, you know, a snow area, camping area. But here in Greeley, this is the heaviest winter we've had for quite a while. Usually we don't have that much snow. And it's kind of funny because I was telling my fiance before she moved down here, oh, don't worry, it does not snow all that much. It, you know, 30s, 40s all the time. And believe me, 30s and 40s here, it's wonderful. It's shorts weather, all this stuff. Well, I would like to say, Colorado weather, thank you for making me a liar. And I have to hear about it all the time. She's like, oh, it doesn't snow very often. And she's like, she gets on me about that quite a bit. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your involvement with Hope Stock and what you guys are planning on doing?
Yeah, all this connected through the Happy Neighborhood Project, and Brian and I several months back were on a live stream Facebook with another friend from the Happy Neighborhood Project, and so that's kind of where I really was tuning in to what Brian has been sharing with us at the Happy Neighborhood Project, and so just generally involved there. And then obviously, as you know, Zach, come to meet you, and then JR at the Veterans Ranch, and then working on the 222 to Save 22 event and several meetings with all of you guys. And so just general support for Project Die Hard, and then just knowing the event has been anticipated since last year. Brian made some comments about how he's bringing that event forward even in 2021 already. Leadership was happening there. And so I'm just here to see what I can do, with the next 4 months. And, so I added on the thought. We have our friend Tim Terosian from Onward and Upward, who has been very passionate about the idea, with 7/22, so Friday, July 22nd, to do something. And so I'm going to see what I can do to help coordinate things, where maybe 22 or more people might be able to help us, really create, like, I might call it a pep rally or something, to just kind of start getting all this energy around this issue of too many lives lost to veteran suicide and the Hope Stock event. And so we're taking efforts to get our cameras and microphones set up at Fob Rush so that we can do live streaming, from the grounds during the event, and then do a little bit of who do you know in Illinois, or who do you know had traveled to Illinois that weekend, and get as many people on the grounds experiencing it firsthand, in person. And so Brian issued out an op order, which kind of shows even into the detail of the sponsors needed, with the different sponsor levels, which I understand, Zach, that you added on to the possibilities and the values that the sponsors are getting here from the pACT channel and Community Pay It Forward. So just doing what I can as a community organizer and ambassador with the Disability Channel. So we offer with Veterans Onward to Prosperity television show by Dr. Anna Maria Bliven, that veterans in business can get a free 30-second commercial. And then we seek out all veterans to be a guest on Veterans Onward to Prosperity with the Disability Channel. But through all of that, expecting that we're going to have a lot of PSA stuff going on for Hope Stock. And you are muted, my brother Zach.
Wow, look at that. I actually muted so nobody would hear me drink, and then I forgot to unmute. Corinda, what we're doing is we're waiting on David. We're waiting on David Jordon to hopefully be joining us. He is the founder of We've Got Your Six, which is a home. It's a home operation trying to find home for the homeless veterans in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He also has a sandwich shop that he opened up, which has all about it's veteran themed, and that sandwich shop really takes and helps to sponsor We've Got Your Six. And that's WGY, the number 6.org, WGY.6 or 6.org. Go and check it out. He's another veteran who has felt and fought the demon. He even recently, and we're hoping to get him on so he can tell his story, because it's very recently since his last battle with the demons. So we're hoping that we were able to get him on and talk to us. We, Kurt, are not stopping with 222 when it comes to trying to raise money for all these. And it is organizations. It's not just one organization. Save 22 encompasses many organizations working together to make sure that we take care of our heroes, because without them, without their sacrifice, we wouldn't have the lifestyle that we've got. Okay. And you are very, you work with another organization that helps individuals when come to with disabilities and learn stuff like we're doing right here, podcasting with the Disabilities Channel. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Disabilities Channel and some of the advantages that people can have out there with the Disabilities Channel?
Yeah, so the fuel, the fuel and the outcome of the Disability Channel is education. So the Disability Channel is founded and operating as headquarters and with its base production studio in Toronto. So really the lesson learned here that I started learning 2 years ago, I didn't know this until February 2020 when I stumbled upon on LinkedIn seeing really the word disability. So it's just that reticular activation. I'm on LinkedIn. I was about ready to do something else. I'm like, disability? What are they doing in the disability community? But I didn't even know who they were. I had to click and it opened up the Disability Channel TDC logo. And I went to the website, went to the contact us and gave a call. Got to talk to Jay Stoyan, who's the founder of the Disability Channel. And his story is he used to have a show following Friends on Fox. And so 9 years ago, he really dove into a social media success and really, made this personal commitment that he was really going to open up the television industry, being a TV producer, to people with disabilities. And then as he kept going with this, he added on the thing that made a lot of sense to him, that he really needed to make it about veterans as well. So ever since I met him, he's been all about the veterans. So for the last 7 years, Ontario has been putting their money where their mouth is. Education is very great in Canada. Canada is funding education for Canadians like all day long, every day. And so the Disability Channel found their place in that educational realm in Canada, for the most part right now in Ontario. So Ontarians with disabilities, get tuition subsidized so that they can attend all of this programming through Digital Ventures. So Digital Ventures is a collaboration, private-public partnership with Owlware Limited. And so it's a great concert of expertise being brought in. And it all goes towards vocational rehabilitation, inclusive hiring, and just flat getting more results in Ontario and wherever Ontarians might go in the world to get hired with things like you say, podcasting, TV, radio, public speaking, desktop publishing, marketing. I mean, just running the gamut, like what would really serve people coming in wanting to, get away from being a displaced worker. Because that's the issue, is there's so many things that displaces our workforce and members of the workforce, that we need these activities to kind of keep tweaking people's careers to be where they can be the most productive citizen in the global marketplace. And so that's what we're doing here. And we're very pleased to be able to do that with our veterans. We know Dr. Anna Maria Bliven is reporting that this is becoming her newly announced focus of veteran education. And she educates at, university here in Wisconsin. And, she's employed at another university. So it's kind of her passion. So we got a lot of these neat things coming together that just is ready and waiting to serve a lot of people. And I know with Brian with Project Die Hard, his story is that there's so much that's going to open up once the grounds.
Thank you, Donna.
Once the grounds is all set to go at Fob Rush, and veterans are starting to be served there. It's just there's like a standby of so many things that are going to unfold.
Kurt, one of the things that we talk about quite often, you and I have had this talk a couple times, that the word disability is it's such a it's such a giant word in the world, because we've all got we've all got challenges. We all know that. But I think truly the only disability that people truly have is, have you tried to work with it? Because people, I mean, we know some people with ability issues. We know some people who are very high functioning, do wonderful jobs. And it's because they get up and they work their butts off, and they get out there and they try. I know that with Jay, one of the things that he's trying to do is he's trying to get American TV stations to take and implement his program by asking them to open up a station. He's going to use his program to train people who have ability issues, or ability. I don't want to say disability. I don't like the word disability, but they are other. They have ability. They have all the ability in the world. They just have some issues with it, with something. And but he's trying to get this spread out to where there is not that, well, I can't work with this guy, or, I can't do this because I'm disabled, and that's not it. What he's trying to do is he's trying to get them to where they get the training that they need. They use this training, and they help promote themselves, push themselves, and push other people who are who have that who might not feel like they're like everybody else, but they've got special talents, and we can show those special talents. Can you explain what Jay's program, what he's trying to push here in the States? Wonderful, wonderful statement right here.
Yeah,
Wonderful
well, the key is again the success of what everybody's liking about the Disability Channel is through government commitment. So basically what we're looking for as citizens of the United States of America, and to look at, what we could be doing to help people with disabilities find their rightful place in employment, and really to do what we could be doing in inclusive hiring. It's all in the educational realm is where we need to be. We need to help open up, like for media. When I came into disability advocacy and I learned what needs to be done in the marketplace, I coined a phrase called the falsely claimed mainstream. Falsely claimed. Because I say that, because I had a water ski story that I had a lived experience about how my friends, and I saw myself in my friends, that there's this culture that we're inherently excluding people with disabilities. So we see this in television. We even see it. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity to see inclusion by people with disabilities, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. To give people an idea of how I'm kind of saying both sides of it, is my ask is that we, as people on planet Earth or in America, whatever audience we want to say, my ask is we need to go 33 times more than what we're presently doing. So that gives you an idea of how we're doing a lot of great things, but we're not even close to where we need to be. And so education is a great thing to open up, that we're looking at government, looking at how government funds education. So like with the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, or like with the veterans, with the Department of Defense and so forth, how we're helping, active military, how we're helping veterans and then people with disabilities. And then when you talk like this, your mind all of a sudden goes to, there's also that intersection between the two, our injured and wounded veterans. And, so speaking about Jay, he just wants to find out if the USA wants the Disability Channel. And that would be the USA government. That would be state government. That would be local government. Are these bureaucrats seeing how we can be instrumenting better programming to take care of something that there's a huge void and unmet need, which means that it'd be a great opportunity for Americans with disabilities to get the education of what we're coining as Disability Ventures USA, which would make sure that as many Americans with disabilities as possible would be able to have this kind of training and education, access to this this established program that right now is on the dime of Ontario.
Right.
So just think of all the money that Ontario put into this, And now we're hopping on their bandwagon, and it's ready to go. It's plug and play. And so it's kind of like right now I'm getting this energy inside me. It's like, wake up, America. Let's do this. Because I knew I put up here Ability MK Now is going to be on at the tail end of this, or we're kind of going to fold into Ability MK Now as this trails off with the pACT show. But that radio show that I do with River West Radio, riverwestradio.com, I knew going into it that it's great I'm doing radio, great what River West Radio is doing for this, but what about the TV industry? And this is before I met Jay. So I felt like I had to create the disability channel. I didn't even know that it was already going. And so how great is it that through the Happy Neighborhood Project, well, I guess it was before that. I really learned about it when I was working on Global Ability Fest and our Everyone In program for October 2021, just plugging away on that. So I guess it would be really out of the Americans with Disabilities Act celebrations. It's being done with that every year. I got involved with creating events called Ability Fest, and it's through all of that networking that got me to the Disability Channel. And we can just take what Jay's been working on for 9 years and just, kind of customize it for America, and let's win at this. Let's do some good to rectifying our own problems. You were speaking before about, abilities and different abilities and all that. Again, another awakening I had inside of me is that people with disabilities I pronounce as masters of ability. Because when I started to realize the day in the life of someone with a disability and how that interfaces with the other 75% of population, it is the 75% of population that does not identify with a disability that has the shortcomings. Because people who don't have a disability aren't by and large practicing universal design, global public inclusive infrastructure, understanding or even caring to understand about the Americans with Disabilities Act. If somebody gets in the business and has the responsibility to do it, they're going to an attorney. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? And that's how I've been talking about the Americans with Disabilities Act, because there's this expression in life that we say in America, if we think about this, there's an expression, a cliche. What's it going to take? An act of Congress? And
God, I hope not.
That's what it took.
Nothing will ever get done.
Yeah, if we didn't have the Americans with Disabilities Act to legislate common sense or uncommon sense, and I would say me too. When I think of me as a high schooler graduating in 1990, to think about what this country gave to us as youth in the 80s, this common sense about how to treat our brothers and sisters with disabilities was not something that I carried the way I should. I'll tell you that for sure.
Nope.
So I learned a lot from the Americans with Disabilities Act itself. And I felt it amazing that when I was in college at UW-Madison, University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I learned from this national advocacy about how it not is just going to benefit Americans with Disabilities Act, it's going to benefit all Americans. Because, Kurt Roscoff rode on those elevators. Kurt Roscoff stepped on those curb cutouts. I was using the same stuff that was inspired by people with disabilities, but I used the same stuff that was proposed thanks to their efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're going to take a real quick second, and we want to give a little bit of a shout out to a great friend of ours through the Happy Neighborhood Project. She is just she's a wonderful, wonderful person that an accident ended up changing her life. And so we're going to take a really quick 30 seconds, and we're going to watch this wonderful program and plea for your patience, for your understanding, because, as she says in this, just remember that 1 second, can change your life forever. So this is a wonderful video from a friend of ours.
It takes a second to fall in love, to find your soulmate, to achieve glory. It only takes a second for everything to change.
In a split second, I looked down and my life changed dramatically. Now I want people to know the real outcomes of distracted driving. Please don't drive distracted. It's a second you wish you could have back.
That's a hard video, because you know what, we're all guilty of it. Anybody, anybody who says that they don't get distracted when they're driving, um, you really need to really kind of question, because we all do, whether it's for a quick second glancing over and seeing a guy who's spinning a sign on the side of the road, whether it's your cell phone, whether it's a radio station, and you just start singing to the radio, you're not concentrating. Just do remember that it's not only your life that can be changed, it's other people's lives that can be changed also. So, let's really try to work on trying to, focus on what's going on out there. When you're on the road, just remember it's not only your life in danger. So I want to thank Molly very much for sharing that with us and allowing us to show that and her struggle. She's a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful person who talks about these. And she's a great speaker. And she works through her ability challenge. And she does this just to make sure that she's showing people that, this can happen. Kurt, we were talking about what's going on with the disability channel. You and I, Emily, and I, we also have started to talk about what we want to do with the pACT channels. And that is, we want to start getting some sponsors on here, and we want to start including people with different abilities, ability challenges, to come on and host their podcast. Come on and tell people about their story, tell people about what they do, because there's a lot of times that, bad or good things get started by bad happenings. As we've talked, and as you're going to hear about here in about 20 minutes with our pre-recorded video with Brian, this started out of him. He was going to take his own life. He heard God speak to him, and he changed not only his life, but now his intention is to change many, many lives. We want to take and we want to get some sponsors, and we want to bring some people on to tell their story, but we also want to bring on more people to help our producer extraordinaire, who's running her head off right now with 11 podcasts. We want to take and we want to hire some people to come on and learn, take what they learned from the disability channel and come on and help us run really great, high quality podcasts, talk about some really great things going on, get them involved in Community Pay It Forward and the disability channel with Brian on the fob rush and doing the things with the other fobs throughout the country that we're looking to get built. This isn't, the fob rush isn't just a one and done thing. It's something that we're trying to do to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to go somewhere. So we want to be a voice for inclusion, for inspiration, and more. And we do want to bring on people who feel like they've been left out before. Kurt, you and I have also talked about trying to be how important it is for us to include people who, others may see them as being different. We just see them as being people. We all have our ugly ghosts. We all have our parts that are a little bit different. I always tell people all the time, if there was somebody who was just like me, yeesh, I don't know if I'd get along with that person. It's important for us to make sure that we include everybody. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that is correct. And again, I got to thinking with the Happy Neighborhood Project networking, we have these travel agents and some that specialize in cruises. And, I was in a breakout room once, and the gentleman, presenting cruises, talked about how we say, how many souls are on board? How many souls on board? If we could just take that attitude when we are out in the community, how many souls are with us? And to me, that's the building block. The building block is my soul with your soul, Zach. And we're talking about, our brother Brian, and as other people come into our purview, as we're doing business networking, as we're doing other life experiences, just think of how amazing the gift it is. They say the gift of your presence.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the entirety of your presence, not just your soul. But I think that really speaks to, where I'm coming from, that, yeah, I want a world that, removes the biases and the stigmas. My Shertel relative, Jory Prajinski, with Hope Instilled, hopeinstilled.org, chronic pain. Our friend Denise Vargas, she deals with chronic pain.
Right.
And do you consider yourself, Zach, in the chronic pain community, or not necessarily?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I do. I suffer from headaches, either tension or migraine, every minute of every day since the accident. So yeah, there's always chronic pain. There's different days, different levels. It's really, it's just like everybody else's struggle. Every day we wake up with something that is not quite normal. You either have to learn how to deal with it, or you let it control you. And I think that that's one of the things that the Disability Channel and Brian with Fog Rush and they do, that they're trying to teach people how to work with this. And this is a great point that was brought up by a friend of ours, Donna. PTSD is strong and it grabs you hard to a night, and it's a nightmare to live. Donna joined us on the 22-hour podcast and told us about some terrible, terrible, terrible incidents in her life. She was very, very strong. It was very hard for her to get up there and talk about the incidents. And I ask you to please go back and watch the 22-hour podcast. Just don't do it at once, because it's 22 hours. That's a long time to be on there. So somebody told me that. I didn't know for myself, but Donna told us about some very, very tragic things that have happened in her life that she's trying to live with. And PTSD is one of the biggest reasons right now why people are taking making those life-altering, life-ending choices, because that PTSD is something that they don't know how to cope with. PTSD can be anything from feeling left out. Feeling left out can be one of the reasons for PTSD. So the inclusion part, Kurt, I think is something that we can really do to help people. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. When you speak now, I don't have lived experience with PTSD. I mean, maybe in some minor level, in terms of things that have shocked me or really challenged me in my life. But in terms of really what the advocacy is all about, but what I gather about it, I was an EMT for 10 years. So I spent 10 years of thinking of things very medically and so forth. So just the scientific side of me just says, okay, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or disease, so to me, this is where, there's a functionality that our bodies are ready for to thrive. And so when we have this trauma, the trauma hits us so deeply, stresses our systems so strong that it alters the function of our body mechanics, our autonomic systems, our reflexes. So as I listen to advocates and hear this community speak to help the perception and to help deal with, as my cousin, or shouldn't say cousin, Shertel relative, I guess it should be, talk about stigma. See, to me, if you really are getting into the advocacy, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing stigma, because what happens is it's like Einstein says, every action has an equal but opposite reaction. So people are dealing with their own circumstances. And then I don't really call it insult to injury, but it's like that dysfunctional relationship to it. It's that misguided response that I can speak to, because like I say, in the last 10 years, I learned so much. And it's the woulda, coulda, shoulda, like what, or the what if I learned this back when I was a teenager? What if I learned this in my 20s? What if I learned it in my 30s? What if? But it didn't happen, folks. You know, our great American education system, leader of the free world, all this stuff, you know, growing up into it. I'm here at 50 years old to say, adult community, we can be doing so much better, thinking of like neighboring, teaching simple things, outward focus, you know, givers gain, you know, having this tendency, you know, to not be so selfish, self-centered, self-serving. But yet when I'm in conversations, what I'm hearing is the concern that at least as an American culture with our instant gratification, consumer-driven society, we actually are building pathways, and our tendencies are going towards, we're in a lot of trouble, folks.
Yeah.
Because when people need friends, neighbors, ears to listen to them, the way we're going with our culture in a great degree, we don't want to stereotype that either, but, you know, to share love, happiness, joy, peace, this hippie type lifestyle we learned about from the 60s, and a lot of us still resemble that, which is great. You know, but the idea is these things are at the core of where we need to be, and we're not having these conversations because when you're at a government meeting, and I know I was vice chair of the Wisconsin Council on Physical Disabilities, what I would love more than anything is to go to a Wisconsin Council on Physical Disabilities meeting and to hear these people talk about love.
Yep.
You know, or any agency. We have to get that where it's not taboo, it's not flaky, it's not like, you know, somebody's Looney Tunes if they come in and talk about love. Because what do we got if we're in government, we're serving, and we're not starting with love? That's the way I feel. And because I'm like, again, my scientific brain, how can we fill the gap, mitigate the circumstances, help citizens, help people in the community be do-gooders, and to realize that it's worth it. It may be a sacrifice for ourselves, but it's worth it. What we need, it's what we need to do. And Zach, with Community Pay It Forward, I mean, it is the cat's pajamas, because I connected in 10 years to 100 different meeting orientations where people gather to do this good work. And the number one mark that I give them poor ranks on is marketing. And not at their fault. It's just the thing of when 5 or 15 people gather and then you've got them in 100 different places. How do you culminate it? How do you accumulate it? Well, the answer is Community Pay It Forward. You know, you're doing this work, Zach, and there's so much to do. You could inspire 10,000 people to do the same thing you're doing, and we still will have a lot to do because we need to market the bejeebers out of this. And so to empower people to podcasts and simple things like this is absolutely huge when we think of social mission work and to, you know, to captivate the social enterprise opportunity. Obviously, I'm sold out to it and I'm on my soapbox with it, but to me, it's a big deal.
You know, I think one of the things that you said was back when we were, back when we were younger, you and I are at the same age. We're damn near the same age. I mean, you're like 2 weeks older than I am or something like that. So, you old man. But, one of the things that I always tell people is I wish. And, it's kind of a terrible thing to do because you shouldn't wish about certain things. I wish I would have known how to listen earlier in my life, because I was told stories back when I was younger that if I would have just listened to them a little bit more, if I would have taken one or two links, one or two just little tidbits out of these stories, so much of my life could have been different. I could have learned something and I could have helped other people by listening to those stories. That's where when we have stories like what Donna was telling us the other day, hearing these stories about what she's went through and what she needed help with and still needs help with today, if we don't listen to these stories, we can't figure out, where that help will be best suited. And the thing is that everybody on this earth deserves a chance to ask for help. and they deserve a chance to get that help. That's one of the things with Community Pay It Forward, Kurt, that we're really trying to do. We're trying to make sure that people understand who needs the help and what the help they need is. And then it's not just a thing where we're going to take and throw money at it. You know, as we say every time, money is the king of everything. We know that you need money to survive, but money is not the only thing. If we can say, you know what, this person needs somebody to listen to them, I can be that person, and we can sit down and we can say, you know what, I saw you on Community Pay It Forward, and I want to lend a shoulder for you to cry on. I want to lend an ear for you to talk into. You know, you need a fence built. I've got a friend who's looking for somebody to help build a fence for her right now. And, you know, if we can find somebody to help her build this fence, then we've communicated and we've helped each other, and we've done exactly what you're saying with the whole hippie thing. We're just getting together again as a community, and it's not difficult to do. You don't need to put so much emphasis on what somebody, on their personality type. You know, am I an A or a B or a C or a D? Am I, you know, what? None of that matters when the truth is that we're human beings, for God's sakes. That's what we are. That's, you know, race. None of this stuff should matter over us being human and being able to take care of each other. That is the most important part, is that we are human. We need to be there for each other. And I think that you've got that exactly right. You know, you go to some of those things, some of those city councils, and it's just people who are yelling at each other. And a lot of times, this is one of the things that I don't know if it's amusing or annoying to me. There's a lot of times that people are yelling at each other, and they're yelling about the same side of things. They just don't understand how to communicate with each other. And I think communication is something that is lacking heavily right now. We all see things our way. We know this. We all see things our own way, and there are going to be differences there. But I think primarily we're all on a path where we want to see people happy. And if we could learn how to communicate a little bit better, I think that could happen. So I think what we're going to do. Oh, were you going to add to that, Kurt?
Well, I mean, I guess, you know, what I'd add is, you know, earlier today we talked through a format called Community Impact. And
Yes.
I spoke a little bit about how it's inspired for me out of collective impact. Yeah, I even spoke a little bit about it earlier in the show with my earlier comments about private-public partnerships, government working with business, and then once it's established, what can grow from there, getting your other nonprofits, thinking of a lot of the, I guess for me, I feel like when I say Lions, Kiwanis, Rotary, Optimist Club, there's some popular ones like that, but like in your organization, Community Pay It Forward, you know, it's all nonprofits that can come to the table. And then we think of our faith communities, you know, like Brian Gibson with Project Die Hard. It's a faith-based organization, you know, that kind of stuff. And whether things are faith-based or not, just that we're pulling in, you know, kind of the representative resources and get that that perspective, you know, on how it works there. And then all the fun things we do in life, you know, like our hobbies, pastime, leisure activities, and so forth. I used to be in the golf business, and it was just amazing to experience in 13 years the good that was done through our golf course. You know, very proud about it, actually. You know, and it was very eye-opening to see what a sport can do. You know, and we know, like with Super Bowl and, you know, with all these sports, a lot of great things come in through the love of sports from people. And I'm here because of the sport of water skiing, you know. So I really think about, you know, that collective impact model that, you know, if we really harness what the marketplace has to offer and then have people help us map to, like when we're talking about veteran suicide, you know, how do we best get all these different pockets of our society, or movers and shakers and unlikely suspects, get the unlikely folks that normally are like in the background, they never get involved in community stuff, but to create an easy pathway that they can come forward and be very proud of what they're doing, serving the issue of veterans suicide, because this is an all hands on deck initiative. Nobody
Yep.
should be ruling themselves out.
Well, and I guess it's that time of the show, because I'm just going to say it. This isn't a you problem. This isn't a me problem. This is a we problem. This isn't a problem. Look, suicide alone, or suicide altogether, is a huge problem right now. Okay, veteran suicide, just regular civilian suicide, it's all an issue right now. And I think the biggest thing that you just brought up right there is we need to learn how to listen to each other. Okay. You don't have to always agree with what another person says. There's nothing written down that says, everyone is always right. But the thing is that everybody's always got something, people have something to say. And if we listen to them, and if we just, Brian has a great story. And I think that we talk about this early in the video that we're going to be watching here in a couple seconds. And Brian says, look, the one thing about listening is this. If you're going to listen, be prepared to listen, because you're going to hear ugly things. But these ugly things are being said for a reason. They're being said because it needs to be heard. And these ugly things can lead to beautiful solutions, but you have to be prepared for it. And if you don't feel like you are up to the task, just make sure that you can find somebody else who's there. Okay. If you're sitting there and you agree to listen to somebody, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there tying your shoes or looking at your watch or you can be seen. It's easy to see that you're not fully invested in it, and it can do more damage than it can do good. So just make sure that if you're going to offer to listen to somebody, please make sure that you offer to listen to somebody. So we're going to take right now, and we're going to bring on our interview with Brian Gibson. This is from Fob Rush. But actually, before we do that, I do want to bring this up. You've heard a lot about Brian at Fob Rush. You've heard me mention JR at the Veterans Ranch. I quite often talk about Megan from a couple weeks ago. We had her from the Avery Center, and you can help all of these individuals build their programs to where we need them to be. Okay. We work with people who need your help. We're looking for you to take your shopping experience and turn your shopping into a lifeline for other people. It's a very, very simple program, folks. What you do is you go to our website, which is www.communitypayitforward.com. Once again, it's right here on the bottom of the screen, www.communitypayitforward.us. You can also do .com. It's fine. I own both domain names. So, but it is .us will get you there easier. Go to that website and go to our fundraising family. Okay. Choose any of them to fulfill your to-do list, your honey-do list, do whatever you need to get done. Save the receipt from them. And then what you do is you turn it into this form that I've got on the screen right now. It's a JOT form. You just take and you download that form onto your phone. Okay. All you got to do is just take and place it on your homepage. Anytime that you make a purchase, you take and you upload the receipt, and then you choose, I want to support Brian Gibson at Project Die Hard. I want to support JR with Veterans Ranch. I want to support the Smith family because mom fell and broke her leg. She can't go to work for the next 6 to 8 weeks. The bills aren't going to stop. So you know what? Let's take this $8 from getting our oil changed at Phil's Automotive. Let's take this $8 and let's give it to the Smith family so they can put that bread and milk and cereal on the table. It's a very simple thing. We're not asking you to pay more money. We're asking you to amend your shopping because we support small business. We support medium business, and they support our small and medium organizations in the community who need our help. It's very simple. If you have any questions about it, please, www.communitypayitforward.us. Hit contact us. Ask us your question and we'll get right back to you. Nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. Once again, I'm going to share this video with you. I want to thank Kurt very much for joining us through this segment, through this show. We're hoping to get his beautiful bride on to talk about the upcoming show MKE Now, which is going to come on right here on the pACT channel as soon as we're done here. We're going to have MKE Now with Sue Roscoff, the talented one of the marriage. This next thing here is a 23-minute video with Brian Gibson of Project Die Hard and the Fog Rush. It's going to tell you a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, it's going to be 23 minutes. It's an interview that we did last Friday. So this is Brian and myself talking about Fog Rush and the upcoming event. So please enjoy this. We'll talk to you as soon as it's done.
You raised your hand, said I do swear to fight for freedom anytime, anywhere. And so you went for Uncle Sam to learn the horror of war in far-off foreign lands. The things you had to do, the things you had to see, shook you to the core and brought you to your knees. You walked through hell just to find your way back home. But it's all changed and the things the same. You feel alone. Don't give up. Don't give in, even when you think that you have reached the end. There is hope, there is peace, there is one who loves you more than you believe. When the enemy thinks you're every lie, lay your burdens down at the feet of Christ. Look your hopelessness and fear right in the eyes and arise. Sometimes it seems the easy way to be the very thing to take your pain away, but you have yet to follow through. 'Cause in your heart you know that's not what you should do. The memories that haunt you in your sleep, the friends you lost that hurt you way down deep. Some days you have to fight the urge to just let go. But no longer you are stronger than you know. Don't give up. Don't give in. Even when you think that you have reached the end, there is hope, there is peace, there is one who loves you more than you believe. When the enemy feels your every lie, lay your burdens down at the feet of Christ. Look your hopelessness and you right in the eyes and
Hey everyone, my name is Zach Clayton with Community Pay Up Forward. We're here today for a really short PACT short. We're going to be talking to you very briefly about a great program. That was a song that was written and performed by Eric Horner, and the Nashville Band, and it was given, the rights of that song were given to our guest here, Brian Gibson, the founder and president of Project Die Hard. Brian, welcome again. You and I have become really good friends, and people are seeing just about as much of you on this program as they're seeing me, which is a great thing.
Well, again, brother, working with you has been a blessing, and the help you're giving this mission, all I can say is thank you.
Hey, you know what? I do what I do because of guys like you. You guys make this fun. You guys make this exciting. And, our hope is that someday the work that we're doing together is really going to make a difference in the lives of not just veterans, not just their families, but the lives of everybody. Because let's be honest here, if we're helping to improve lives, all lives are going to be better. So, Brian, July 29th through 31st, you have a wonderful project coming up, wonderful program coming up. It's called Hope Stock. Can you go on ahead and give us a little bit of information about Hope Stock, what you're going to be doing, and maybe tell some people about it?
Well, Hope Stock is our big annual event that we do. It is designed, or the intent of Hope Stock is to bring veterans together and those who love veterans to a place with music and food and camaraderie and just to have a good time and just relax. It is also one of our major fundraisers throughout the year. But again, it's to bring hope to my brothers and sisters.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, this is our second annual one that we're doing, and it's turning out to be bigger and better than last year. We have Chris Turner coming back. He's a Marine Corps veteran, country music singer. He will be he'll be performing Saturday night on the 30th. Opening for him is Jessica Muse. You've seen her on The Voice. Right, she's going to come and open for him. But yeah, we got Friday night, all day Saturday, and Sunday morning, all just starting to really get going.
Well, that's fantastic. I know that you've got everything from barbecue to breakfasts to, you guys are just jam-packed meet and greets. You're looking for vendors and other charities, other like-minded charities to come and join you. You're going to have a kids zone and just so much more ceremonies. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on during your ceremonies.
Well, our remembrance ceremony is that it's a remembrance ceremony. This event is held at Forward Operating Base Rush, which everybody knows, and I'll repeat, is named after Sergeant Courtney Rush of the United States Air Force. She lost her fight to the demons January 3rd, 2012. Our remembrance ceremony is for our Project Die Hard families. We do a simple little talk about it, and then we put a little car in a balloon and we release it. It's just so that people don't forget that the war still goes on here at home.
the all of the upcoming fobs, in which of course our main focus right now is on getting the first one. You can't get to the second one until the first one's built. All the fobs are going to have uh, the name of a hero who has lost the battle, and that's not trying to glorify what the act, but it's to glorify the individual and the accomplishment and the horror of losing the battle.
Again, the war still goes on here at home,
Yeah.
and we lose too many every day.
Yeah.
But
You've got 4 packages that you're looking for people. You've got 4 packages that you're looking for people to go on ahead and help you sponsor. You've got a bronze package, which is anywhere from $100 to $499. That your logo will appear on the patron board. Can you explain the patron board to us, please?
well, we built this stage last year, and we got these 5-foot wide by 10-foot tall risers on each side of the step. And if you become a patron at that level, a sponsor at that level, your logo goes on that banner that hangs on each side of the stage.
Wow, that's fantastic. You've got a silver package anywhere from $500 to $999. This is going to be you get your logo on the patron board, correct?
Mhm.
And you get mentioned in all announcements. And just to let you guys know, here at pACT on the pACT channel, we're going to up every package that you've got. Okay, if you sponsor, I don't care if it's the $100. Uh, if you sponsor Hope Stock in any way, any shape or form, Brian's going to tell us who you are, and we are going to announce to the world that you sponsor them. You will flash your logo behind us during any time that we mention Hope Stock, because this cannot be done without your help. So we're going to add that to this page every time that I appear and we're talking about Hope Stock. If you become a sponsor of Hope Stock, if you get behind Project Die Hard and this wonderful project, and you get this building of hope, of help us get this built, we'll up it, and we'll throw your logo behind us anytime that we brought it up. This is so important, and your participation is that important. We don't care. We will do whatever we can. We'll even bring you on the show if you'd like to come on and talk about your participation. This is important, and we support. We here at pACT channel, we here at Community Pay It Forward, we are all behind Brian and everything that he's doing. So we'd like to add that to this paper, to this, all these packages. If you want to sponsor Brian in any way, we will add your logo to all of our background and everything else. So, but once again, the bronze, you're going to be up here on the patron board. Silver, you're going to be announced in all announcements. A gold package, which is $1,000. You get everything on the bronze and silver, but you also get featured on all the social media. And we all know right now, social media is business. Okay, you want to be found on you want your business to be found. You got to be on social media. As much fun as social media is not quite often, it's very important in your business. And then we're also looking for people of the platinum status, which is a bronze. You get everything in the bronze, silver, gold, your logo on the event poster and on the t-shirt. We've also upped this package. If you are on a gold, if you sign up for a gold package, we'll run a 30-second spot on pACT channel up to the end of the event. Okay. And matter of fact, we'll run a 30-second spot for you through August 31st. Okay. So we're going to run a 30-second commercial for you. If you purchase a gold sponsorship, you do platinum, we'll do a 1-minute commercial. You either come on and we pre-record it, or you send us a 1-minute spot. We'll run it every show on every PACT show until August 31st. So there's a couple more things that we're going to add to just try to get you to be part of this wonderful, wonderful program. Brian, really quickly before we have to step off here, please go on ahead and tell everybody one more time what the purpose of the FOB of Project Die Hard is and what you hope to see with Hope Stock.
Well, the purpose of Project Die Hard is to bring hope to America's heroes. We lose too many to suicide every day. Our facilities are there to be a physical place where a veteran can come for a day, a weekend, a week, a month, up to a year, and get the help they need. Again, we're also looking to partner with like-minded veteran services to give them a spot on our properties, because we do believe in teamwork makes the dream work. Hope Stock, again, it's held at forward operating base for us because we believe in complete transparency. You come to this event, you get to see what we're working on and where your help goes.
Yeah, and the other thing that you get to do, folks, is exactly what Brian just said. You can see exactly where your donation dollars are going to go. There's nothing hidden in Hope Stock. Your donations, the books are always available to you. All you have to do is ask. Hope Stock is not one of the Hope Stock and Project Die Hard are not one of these projects that, you know what, they're going to have to take and use fancy words to confuse you with where the money's gone. This is all about saving hero lives. Community Pay It Forward, the PACT channel are proud partners with Brian, with Hope Stock, with Project Die Hard, with JR and Veterans Ranch, with all of the other partners that are coming to this. And we're very proud to be a huge part of the founding tripod, I guess is what you could kind of call us, of Project, I'm sorry, I cannot believe I screwed this up. Veteran Community Project, the VCP. We're building a program all about, our goal is, our mission is the mission. We will be helping veterans, the whole veteran, and we're not going to be helping a piece and passing them on to somebody else. We're going to find solutions to problems, and we can do it, but we need your help to make sure that this goes through. Your first participation, you can really help us out by becoming a sponsor, becoming a partner, participating in any way. And you go to contact@projectdiehard.org, and Brian can send you the information. Once again, that's contact@projectdiehard.org. You can also find all the information on communitypayupforward.us, communitypayupforward.us, and go to the 2Save22 tab. You scroll down a little ways, you're going to find all the information about Hope Stock. You can take and do us a huge favor. You can find this wonderful poster here, this poster right here. You can take and you can print this poster off, and you can hang it up in your store, and you can say, we want to be part of this. We want to save lives. This is an ongoing project where our mission is very simple. There's not anything hidden about this. Our heroes served us. It's our turn to serve them. Project Die Hard, and as we mentioned before, JR with the Veterans Ranch, Community Pay It Forward, we're really trying to make a difference here. And Brian, this is such a wonderful program that you've got going. As you and I discussed yesterday, I won't be able to be there because if I do that, I'm getting married on that day, so I think I'm getting to a little bit of trouble.
Again, brother, we understand. We put God, family, mission, so you're covered under the family clause.
Yeah. So I've got an excused absence, we'll call it then. But the one thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to shun our responsibility. You can look forward to this video playing multiple times. You're going to be able to find this video right on the 2Save22 website. Brian's going to be attaching it to a lot of his stuff. You can find it on our Facebook. You're going to see it on the pACT channel. Quite often, we're going to try to play this at least 3 times a week. We'll let you know when this is going to replay, but this is such an important message. This is such an important mission. We need your help. We want you to be able to understand exactly what you can do to help us out. Once again, we're looking for sponsors. Bronze, $100 to $499. Your logo will appear on the patron board. Silver, this is $500 to $1,000, $999. Your bronze is you'll be mentioned in all the announcements, plus you'll be on the patron board. Gold, you'll receive both of those other things and featured on the social media outlets, plus pACT channel will run a 30-second commercial for you until August 31st. And then, of course, platinum for $2,000. You get everything on bronze, silver, and gold, except for your 30-second video can now be a 1-minute video as a sponsor of Operation Hope and a sponsor of Project Die Hard. We need you to call us today or get a hold of us by email is the best way. All you have to do is reach out at contact@projectdiehard.org, contact@projectdiehard.org. Or if you want to come through us, you need the information, Brian shares all the information with Community Pay It Forward, and we are proud to be able to sponsor and show our support for Brian by sharing it with you. But I definitely suggest get on this gentleman's busy schedule and have a conversation with him. You can learn his passion. You can learn his love for his country, for his veterans, and for his brothers and sisters. This is something that's a lot more important than either one of us. This is not a me problem. It's not a you problem. This is a we problem. We can fix this together. So we're gonna cut this one short. Brian, I appreciate you joining us very much. Can you one more time give us your website so people can check things out?
ProjectDieHard.org. We're on Facebook at Project Die Hard 22. We're on Instagram as Project Die Hard. We're all over the social media.
And if you have any trouble finding them, you can always find them on communitypayitforward.us. My name is Zach Clayton. We've been visited today on this little pACT short by Brian Gibson, the founder and president of Project Die Hard. And, Brian's in this situation because he literally pulled the gun out of his mouth, and he's dedicated his life to God, and David dedicated his life to saving his brothers and sisters. We want to thank you one more time, Brian, for coming on and sharing this. And please be looking for this video. Make sure that you lead people to this video and we can show them, we can teach them exactly how this works, and we can make this a very, very successful July event. Once again, it's July 29th through 31st at Project Die Hard. So if you have any more information, please just contact us, 970-909-0751. One more time, that's 970-909-0751. We thank you very much, and please remember, nobody has to go it alone. If we all come together, just help us out, and you're going to be helping our heroes out, which in turn is helping our community out. My name is Zach Clayton, president and founder of Community Pay It Forward. You've been listening to a pACT short with Brian Gibson. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, brother.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. How to know, show me the way.
Okay, everybody. One of the things that I wanted to make a point that I wanted to bring up, and I should have brought it up on that Friday interview, but I was unable to do that. You noticed that Brian and I were both wearing red shirts. Fridays. One of the coolest things that you can do to show your support for people in who are serving our country right now, who are serving overseas, who are deployed away from their families, away from their loved ones, who are taking time away from everybody that they love and their lives, is wear a red shirt on Fridays. Okay. Red, RED, stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. So if you wear a red shirt on Fridays, that means that you're showing your undying support for what they're doing for our country. So please remember, always wear a red shirt on Fridays, support Red Shirt Fridays, support our troops. Okay, we're going to bring back on Kurt. We're here real quick. Kurt's going to tell us, look at this. Look at this. We got the important one here too. We've got Kurt and Sue who are coming on right now. Hey, Sue, what you got cooking on MKE now?
Good evening, Zach. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Excellent. Yeah, we have Ability MKE now starting in just a couple minutes. And we always are looking forward to hearing stories from our friends that are ability related and Milwaukee related. Ability MKE now. So we have a friend of ours that should be joining us tonight. I know she was planning on it as of last week. I remember, if you remember, oh my gosh, Rose. I just had her name was not there for a moment.
Oh, I know.
She is a spectacular storyteller, and we're hoping that she can come join us tonight. And if you are available and would like to join us, you're always welcome to, Zach. You are an awesome man on our show. Love having you join us there.
I may stop in.
Pop in, say hello.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Act important. That's kind of what I like to do. So, all right. And I will just, I will back up exactly what Sue said. Her guest tonight is a wonderful storyteller. Her grandfather was a king in Africa, and some of the stories that she tells about her grandmother and her mom, and it's just, I mean, I sat there for the 30 minutes that we got to sit with her the first time, and I was just like, and to get me to shut up for even that long is amazing. So, well, Sue, I know that you got to get back on your show. I want to thank you very much for joining us. I want to thank Kurt for joining us. Emily and Tim, I want to thank you both for sticking on. And there's Mr. Kurt again. So, but please, everybody, remember, and Kurt, do me a favor and look in the private chat to help me out so we can get this on MKE now for me. But thank you, Kurt, for joining us and being on with us. And we will talk to you next week, my friend.
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody. My name is Zach Clayton. I'm the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. And we have now founded the pACT channel, podcasting for inclusion, inspiration, involvement, and outreach. We invite you to join us on pACT, in pACT, and make an impact helping people out. We also want to remind you that nobody has to go it alone if we all come together. Okay, that's all we have to do. Nobody needs to go hungry when there's food not being eaten. If you got food that's left over, you're not going to eat it, throw it in an old butter bowl. When you throw it in that butter bowl, throw it in the microwave for a couple seconds, take it to somebody who is out there struggling. If you have an extra hood, nobody needs to be cold when there's clothing not being worn. Please make sure that if you take, you got a hoodie in your closet, you got clothes, blankets, whatever in your closet, and you're not using them, put them in your car. Find somebody who's battling with the cold. Let's get them on. Let's make sure that your clothing, which no longer is used to you, is a use to somebody. Everybody, please remember to love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zach, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. We will talk to you next week right here on pACT. Now we're going to be joining MKE Now, Ability MKE Now, live from Wisconsin. So you're going to get to hear that funky talking, but we hope you enjoy your show. So maybe if I can remember what I'm supposed to do. Here we go. Once again, this is Sue and Kurt with Ability MKE Now, live from Wisconsin.
All right, I believe we are on the pACT channel. So welcome PACT channel to Ability MK Now. So you got this?
Wow.
I am just about set here. I just have to hit the go live button. So give me one brief moment. And we should be live on Facebook with Ability MKE Now. And we are so glad you're here joining us as always. It's a little bit of a different night tonight. We are always live on Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. on River West Radio out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tonight is an unusual night. We are actually doing our podcast as usual, because as the radio show happens, we always podcast as well, so that everybody can participate no matter where they are and whatever mode is most convenient. It just so happens that the station is has other things happening for this week and for next week. We are continuing our podcast as usual, though, because this is still Ability MKE Now, and we are thrilled to be here and to have an opportunity to connect and talk things ability related. For not and granted, being we're not actually on the radio this evening, we don't necessarily have to keep things just as a Milwaukee based piece, which I'm seeing we have a good friend of ours joining us tonight, Zach Clayton. So we'll bring him on here just in a moment, and we'll be able to talk a little bit more in detail, I think, about some of the things that he's doing, being based not in Milwaukee. So for those that don't know his history, we will get to him in just a moment. We're so glad he's here. As always, though, we do have my co-host. So my name is Sue Roskoff. Kurt is here. Kurt, you want to come on in and say a big hello?
Hello.
A man who does what you ask. That's so cool. Would you like to do a little intro and just tell everyone where you're at tonight? Little status check.
You're asking me or Zach?
You.
Me, where I'm at. I'm at home.
You're a man of many words, not just one. Anybody who knows you knows that's the case. Come on now.
So where I'm at in terms of what? What's the question, Sue?
It is Wednesday evening. You've had a long, fun, busy day. Just didn't know if you had any great words of wisdom that you could drip on us here.
Words of wisdom. Wow. All right. Well, this will be fun. We'll start the watch.
What did I just do?
The knee slapper. Animated. Oh, man. So just remember, it's community care in your background. There's Zach. No, but yeah, just had a great show with the PACT show. Podcasts all come together. And we have Emily here, our podcast producer extraordinaire and co-host and podcast engineer, and about 100 other hats that Emily wears, and captain in training, and who knows, ambassador of the Disability Channel. Shall we keep going? Yeah, it was a great day of networking today at the Happy Neighborhood Project. Check it out at happyneighborhoodproject.com. Every Wednesday afternoon, evening time frame, and Thursday mornings we're with Aaron Justice, who does a class for the Happy Neighborhood Project, and it's all about how to get the most out of HNP, Happy Neighborhood Project, and the Happy Co-op. So we're promoting the International Day of Happiness, and you'll see on my border here that I'm premiering Happy Happening Heroes. So we have a team of over 10 of us working together with the Happy Co-op to get as many people as possible to the co-op, but it's Club 100 because we're pledging that by the end of the year, we personally, as an individual, will bring in 100 people to the Happy Co-op. Check it out at thehappycoop.com. And so International Day of Happiness, March 18th. It's going to run 9 to 3 Pacific time. 9 to 3 Pacific time, brought to us by our friends out of Sacramento, California. The staff at headquarters there with the Happy Neighborhood Project. And the whole event also brought to us by the Happy Co-op, which now has an established board of directors. We have a 6-person board to the Happy Co-op. So we're really serious about spreading happiness around the world. And, so this is a check-in on our ongoing topic here in 2022, just really mustering up and addressing and combating losing lives to veteran suicide. And so it brings us to a whole realm of mental health, addressing PTSD. We brought up about one of our co-founders of Ability MK Now, or co-founding or co-host team of the original show, Ability MK Now, Jory Prodzinski with Hope Instilled, hopeinstilled.org, and talking about stigma. So bringing back that whole aspect that as people are going through their journeys in life and represent a struggle that can occur, that, a lot of times there's a little bit of levity and flexibility being called for, that people don't want to have so much of how people interact with them changed because they already had the struggle. So it's like adding almost like that insult to injury. We don't want to call it insult to injury, but it's just not what the person who's going through the struggle has in mind, because people who are going through a struggle, as I to be empowered, want to be, kind of given, again, that flexibility to have that understanding and to realize that things are going to happen differently, for them. Jory Prodzinski always talked to us about how during the holiday season, for a good chunk of the mainstream audience, that the holidays are just so great and so full of cheer and happiness, and holiday parties are so great, and and everybody's got their busy schedules. Well, the news flash is people who are living in chronic pain can't always be there for you when you're planning them to be there, because that's the idea, is that to be able to commit and to be able to guarantee somebody, or to be in that position where you have to be there. If you're in chronic pain, that's a tough spot to be in, because if your chronic pain flares up right as the planned activity ensues, so it's all about flex time, and so that's what this awareness brings. What can we as people do to practice the art of allowing? The folks from The Secret and the Law of Attraction, create these groups and have great discussions going on around the world. And so I participated in one of them where the moderator was talking about the art of allowing. And I think that's a great notion of wisdom, a great set of wisdom, is that if we can just be that way, to be art of allowing. And I talk a lot about removing the bias in pathways to open up unbiased pathways, that when somebody wants to do something, let's be 7.8 billion people that help people do what they want. Let people live their lives to the fullest and be the best version of themselves.
Excellent. I knew you had some wisdom you could drip our way. I love it. Thank you, Kurt. And I see we have, as always, we have Emily Golmer joining us tonight as well. So I'm wondering, Emily, if you would like to introduce Zach. You've spent a lot of time with him lately. Would you like to, first, if you have any thoughts that you want to share with us, and then would you like to bring Zach in?
Every other to please support our veterans, and if possible be involved with Project Die Hard and Homestuck in July. But Mr. Clayton, what can I say about you? We just met Zach, was it like October? I believe. So it hasn't been that long. But Zach is awesome with Community Pay It Forward. And he's totally involved with Onward and Upward and everything Kurt and I have been doing. And Sue. And so he's out in lovely Colorado. And helping nonprofits, which Onward and Upward is, and everything. So, Mr. Clayton.
Oh my. It's that kind of a night, everyone. It's been a fabulous week so far. I was actually losing track already earlier tonight. I'm like, wait, it's Wednesday, right? Where are we at? It's flying.
Oh, Zach, I think we're losing you a little bit. You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Just slow it down for a moment there.
Or is that just me?
Well, and with us not being actually live on the radio tonight, I'm looking at this as a great opportunity to take our conversation a little bit more on location where you are, Zach. I'm wondering if you want to fill us in a bit more on things that you're doing, maybe get a little more in detail if there's anything that's even more regional by you. And then I know Emily brought up Hope Stocks. I definitely want to talk about that a bit and make sure that's on everybody's radar, that we can know how to participate and what is it. So it's definitely something everybody should know about and share and make sure, because it is that important. So actually, Zach, if I can volunteer you here, and what can you share with us about things happening in your area?
Owners, and when we shop with these business owners, they've, like I said, they've dedicated a referral fee to us, and we feel that it's more important to put that money to work for people than into our own pockets. It's kind of like that, when you put on that coat for the first time during the winter time, and you slip your hands in there and you find that $20 bill, and you're like, yeah, I'm excited. Wow, I could have used this last week or whatever. For me, it's another Diet Pepsi. Okay. But if we can take that $20 bill and we dedicate it to, say, a single mother who's struggling to put milk and cereal on the table, what we ended up doing is we put money that we weren't expecting, that we didn't even know we had. We ended up putting that to work, and we ended up using it to better somebody's life. And so with our program, as you mentioned, as Emily mentioned, we take and we help nonprofits, but we also help families with emergency situations. We help kids who are trying to raise money for school and church and club activities, or find themselves sick or injured. We do help our 501c3s and nonprofits and fundraising efforts. We also help startup businesses and startup nonprofits. And then, of course, as we're talking about Hope Stock right now, we also help our heroes, both country and community. Kurt mentioned being an EMT for 10 years. My parents were also EMTs here in Colorado, so I'm familiar with that. Funny story about that is when I was a kid, they had the CPR doll in the closet. I took and I was never supposed to open that closet. I opened that closet and that doll fell out and it scared me to death. I was, a 10-year-old kid that was dancing around screaming because I got this, stiff, heavy lady falling at me in a closet. So, kids. Yeah. So kids, listen to mom and dad when they say, don't open the closet, don't open the closet. So, but my parents tended to be jokers, coming home Halloween night after celebrating as Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon. Once again, told me to do something. Did I listen? No. Don't answer the door. It could be a stranger. Well, it was stranger. It was Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon opening or standing on the other side of the door. Another time, I'm like, whoa. So, but so kids, make sure you listen to mom and dad. But yeah, what we do is we just take and we ask people to shop with our partners. Our partners, like I said, have agreed to give us this. And what they're doing is they're doing what's best for their business. Because with their business, it doesn't do them any good to be in business in a location where everybody's struggling. If nobody has any money, they have no money to shop. So what they want to do is they want to make sure that they're there to try to help people get through their tough times, and then they can become customers and they can tell other people about it. And if we can just take and put this puzzle together like we have, it's just a way that we can help each other, help the economy, help the mom and pop shop, which is really struggling in America right now, help keep them alive, help keep, that community, help bringing the community back together. So this is exciting being able to tell you guys, in which I love the radio show. Don't get me wrong, but I love being able to talk about the program right now because it is the first time I've got to say this here. So.
And I'm assuming there's a website where people can go and find more information and see details, or some place they can go.
Oh, I think there's a website out there. Yeah, there's probably one or two of them out there. So I don't know. Oh, no, actually, we just had a website launched by good friends of ours and partner, Z World Webs, and our website is communitypayitforward.us. communitypayitforward.us. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can call me 970-909-0751. One more time, that's 970-909-0751. All you got to do is ask for the guy who talks a lot, and I'll probably be there. So
yeah, it's a very nice website.
Yeah, Z did a very, very good job. And I also want to give our great partners at totalspeed.co, give them huge credit, because they are the ones who are we're using their servers, and we were able to get our domain names from totalspeed.co a lot less expensive than you get them for, and a lot less let's put it restricted than you get from the other website builders, from the other two main ones. So just go to totalspeed.co, because Total Speed is all you need to know. I like that. I just do. I like that line of his. So So yeah, we're talking about Hope Stock right now, and we just what we really want to do is Hope Stock is one of the groups that we that you can take and you can support every day. You can take and support our heroes every day by just going to one of our partners, shopping with them, and then turning in a receipt. You go to the website, and it's a play. It'll say turn in your receipt here. All you got to do is upload the picture of that receipt and go down to support our heroes or support the families or trafficking or whatever is your heart desire. We have causes that are out there who have asked for our help. And that's what we're looking to do. We're just looking to help as many people as we can. We're told quite often that you can't help everybody. And I think that we can help more than people think. All we have to do is come together.
It's that kind of thing where you hear the story of a little boy out on the shoreline, and there's starfish all the way along there, and there's so many. There's no. He wants to actually just get them all back out in the water again, so that they'll be alive and happy again, and not drying up and dying basically on the sand. And somebody asked, "Why are you even bothering?" And he said, "Well, I made a difference to this one," and then he throws it out into the water and basically saves its life. So yeah, you make an impact. You never know who and what are you going to end up touching along the way, and making the difference that they needed at that moment. You never know who that is or when that's going to happen.
And you're so right, Sue. And the other thing is that you know what, you can't help many until you help one. So you got to start somewhere. One of the things in which I know a lot of you guys saw when I first came on, you saw my Cub Club background, and the Cub Club background is really important to me. This is our children's program. And what we do is we try to help teach kids that, hey, you know what? Helping people is so much fun. It can really be so much fun. One of the examples of this is when we first got started. I was with a group of friends, and we took our queue off Facebook. And what we did is we went and we said, you know what, you give us 50 likes, you get us $50 that we're going to give to a mission. We're going to give to somebody who needs help. And we'll take and you can meet us at the Windjammer, a local eatery here in Northern Colorado, and we'll break an egg over our head. And it took like 5 minutes to get the 50 likes, the 50 shares, and the $50. I mean, for 5 minutes, I'm not kidding you. It was just like, boom. And we had him. So we amended it. We came up with the idea, okay, let's get this to $100. I mean, we can start helping somebody now, and we'll get it to $100. And then if you do that, we're going to draw names of the people who donated, and each one of them gets to break an egg over, there were 5 of us, that person gets to break an egg over our head. And took a little bit longer. We were at about 20 minutes now. We had the 100 and 100, and everything was going along. And so we decided, and we still had like 3 weeks before we were going to go and do this whole thing. And so we thought about how we could make this special and the things that we could do. And what we decided to do, we just grabbed 3 huge cases of eggs. And when we got there, it was like, you guys did this great job. You raised this money for us. You're helping us out. And we were giving this money to the family of a little girl who lost her life to leukemia. And what happened was we just told them, you know what, $1 per egg now. You got it. Just give us the $1, take an egg, bust the egg. I'm going to tell you something right here, right now. I'm going to tell you something. I felt like I was sitting in that chair for 4.5 days. There's nothing like slurping that egg up your nose and in your mouth, and it was awful. And I'm a fat guy, and I couldn't eat omelets for a month. Okay, I love omelets. Well, it's food, so I love food. But we learned a couple things, and it was actually only like 45 total minutes of work. So we ended up raising $789 for that family. And the dad came up to me, and I'm covered in egg gut. I mean, just got covered everywhere. And the dad came up to me, and he gave me a huge hug. And he goes, why? Why would you do this? You don't even know us. And the only thing, and this is my answer on that day, really sticks out to me even today. And my answer was, do I need to know you to care? And it's what I told him then. And it's really what I like, what Kurt, what yourself, what Emily, what we're doing. We don't have to know people to care. And we learned some very valuable lessons that night. The first thing is that people love doing fun and strange things and raising money in a fun and different way. And the other thing I learned, and this one was most important to a guy with a head injury, I got a lot of friends with anger issues that don't realize eggs break easy. You don't have to slap somebody upside the head. So, but it was just that was one of the many things that we've been trying to do with Community Pay It Forward, to really try to encourage giving. And like I said, like Kurt said earlier, you don't have to know all the situation to care about it. And that's really something that we want to make sure that people know.
Excellent. I love that. And actually, Kurt, I was wondering if I could bring you back in. If you want to give us just a brief rundown on what Hope Stock is. I know we've touched on that a couple times. If you want to hit us with the dates, where, when, just give us the meat and potatoes of what this is. And then Zach, I want to just come back to you if you want to share what your involvement is and all that. Kurt, I'm going to pass over to you.
Is a recurring event. So basically it's simply food, fun, music, live music, and the big outcome here. Well, it's a fundraiser, so obviously that'll be a big measure of the success, is where we are financially in contributions coming in. We're in big need for sponsors. So the sponsorships are going to span, whether you're doing stuff through the pACT channel, whether you're doing stuff, or whether you're at the level where you're getting on our t-shirts, whether you're getting, on the, I'm going to call it the bulletin board or whatever. They're going to have a big board up, I guess, apparently, that's going to showcase a lot of information. So basically sponsors can get on there, and with the newsletters. So we're just trying to see if people can come in and sponsor the event and sponsor basically the Project Die Hard, and everything. We need lots of money coming in. Thousands and thousands of dollars are needed. So in terms of the event, what we're aiming to do is we're recruiting for people who can get to Fob Rush for us on our behalf, and either come with microphones and cameras, be there to run, provided microphones and cameras, because this event's going to happen there in Illinois, and we'd hate to see it come and go and not share it with the world. So we're looking for people to pledge to be a part of that aspect. So people are willing to travel and just have it provided. If people are asking if there's a budget, no, there's no budget. This is a fundraiser, and we're asking for in-kind donations. If there's a need to see if there's a little bit of an exchange that can be possible, like with our sponsorships, we'll have to get that initiated with Brian, the president and founder, see what he wants to do with his board and the other people involved in the event, to see if there's other things possible. But at the same time, if people know they can't touch or direct people to Illinois to help us that way, people can save the date, July 29th, 30th, 31st, to be available online. That's a great help, because if we could have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people around the world tuning into our podcasts, our live streaming, our Zoom events, Project Die Hard through Brian just issued me a Zoom account, that I can log in now to Zoom as Project Die Hard, and all this kind of stuff is in place. I now have an email address,
projectdiehard.org. So people can send all their offers there. I'm displaying my phone number, 262-3721-SKI, 262-372-1754. Obviously, can email me as well as the radio show personality at abilitymk@gmail.com. And we also got the disability channel here, Kurt at the disabilitychannel.us. So we got it all going on here. Again, we're all part of the World Ability Podcast Network. Let's not forget about Transforming Media Network. So we're going to be pulling out all the stops, folks. It's an all hands on deck initiative. And, so the name of the game is this event has been done before. And Brian Gibson just knew when this event happened before that it could have just been at such a higher level. And even with the scale that they had it at, he learned a lot about all the little things. It's like Murphy's Law, if it can go wrong, well, and then just leading into the day, stuff that he thought was done and then it wasn't. And, we all know how that goes in community organizing and show business and stuff like that. So that's what we're trying to do here. Human resource, many hands make light work. No contribution is too small, whether monetarily or volunteering. If you got a brainy idea about how you can help, let's be creative, as our friend Denise Vargas says from the Happy Neighborhood Project. Live creatively. So let's do some creative fundraising. Let's be eventful creatively, and let's just really hit a grand slam home run for Project Die Hard. What more do we need to say than to say we're presenting an event that's going to save lives?
Zach, if you want to add some pieces of what you're all doing, because I know you were super involved in this event as well.
Yeah, I just briefly want to say, Kurt, you got that. I mean, you're just a wordsmith on the way that you say things. But Community Pay It Forward is we're upgrading all the packages with Brian to where we're going to run commercials for you on our channel, on our shows. We've got 5 new shows on the pACT channel. On Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right now. That's going to be expanding a little bit more, but we're going to run commercials for you if you help Brian by sponsoring Project Die Hard, and it's just really important. And then one more time, I'm just going to let everybody know, if you go to communitypayitforward.us, communitypayitforward.us, look at the family fundraising partners. Shop with any of them. That's all we're asking you to do. We're not going to ask you to round up to the nearest dollar. We're not asking you to add an additional dollar at the end. That's not it. You shop with those partners. Take a simple picture of your receipt, upload it to our form, and pick a cause that you want to sponsor. 80% of whatever they have dedicated as a referral fee to us goes to that mission. Our whole purpose right now is to be there to help others. So do us a favor and just make sure, as we always say, nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. So please check out communitypayitforward.us. One last time, communitypayitforward.us. Thank you very much, Sue, for allowing us to join you and take over your show again. This monkey's done with the circus for today. So
you are amazing, Zach. We love having you here and all that you're doing. You've got your own podcast as well, and you really literally went from yours and dove right into ours. And I've got a lot of respect for you, my friend. Thank you so much for all you're doing.
This one's not 22 hours, so this one was fairly easy. Doing it for 2 hours is a lot different than the 22 I did a couple weeks ago. So
it's what you do is amazing, and we really appreciate all the pieces you bring. Thank you so much for all you do with all this, for your heart, for your passion for it. And we will be posting your links and making sure people know how to find you. So I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
all these pieces going here tonight. This has been a fun extended version of Ability MKE Now. And Emily, thank you so much for being here. You always bring a bit of sunshine to our fun little crew, and I appreciate all you do for us. Kurt, your drips of wisdom. That's a good phrase, drips of wisdom. We have to take that one now. It's always amazing. All the pieces that you bring, all the things happening. Even next week, having the International Day of Happiness. If you're not familiar with that, you need to be. That's another one, happyneighborhoodproject.com. If you head there, you'll find out about that. And we'd be happy to share more information too. It's going to be an amazing, fun day. And we've got lots of events coming up in the next few months that if you aren't already clued into, you need to, because everyone wants to be happy, right? Again, Ability MKE Now. We are all things ability, and all the things that we are sharing, we hope hit home with people, and that you can find a place for this in your life as well. So again, my name is Sue Roskoff. We have Kurt Roskoff, Emily Gomer, Zach Clayton with us this evening. On such a fun night like this, all I can say is, with Ability MKE Now, we thank you.
Hey everybody, you were just listening to Ability MKE Now. Ability MKE Now comes out of Milwaukee, or I'm sorry, just out of Wisconsin. It's not Milwaukee, but make sure that you guys check them out. They do a wonderful job with their broadcasting and everything. We've got one more, just to let everybody know, this is a 2-minute video. This is just about how the Community Pay Up Forward fundraising program works.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.